Hello, I am Mariano Gutierrez Alarcón and welcome to the 12th Man Academy, the show that asks the questions we believe the fans want to know about football. Joining me for this series is well-known and passionate manager Gus and our voice of the fans, long-suffering supporter Stephen Brown. Together, we will get inside the pitch and hope to answer your doubts about managing at the top end of the game, while we get the inside track of being a top-level football manager. In each episode, we get a better understanding of the thoughts, the decision-making, and the philosophies of a top-level coach, from picking a club captain to tactics and team identity as we connect the fans to the manager. In this series, we reference to past events as we use examples that were happening in the football world at the time we recorded this podcast. In this episode, we discuss what it is, team identity, and how to win matches.
From the previous episode, Gus, what was more important was identity. What's exactly identity?
Your idea, how you're going to win it, how you're going to defend, how you're going to attack, where you're going to defend, how high you're going to press, how much you're going to drop, and when you're going to press, in which is so many things that cover the identity of a team that sometimes we watch football and two teams, they look pretty similar. And I'm sure you talk to one coach and the other, and they are totally different. But because of the game, it's very difficult to know exactly what they've been told the players to do.
Can we say that every team has an identity?
Not every team have an identity. Maybe the coaches, they think they do, but in reality, nobody can say. So we cannot say, okay, this team played this way or not. There is teams that they got it clearly. Like you say, Bielsa, 1-1 all over the pitch, and it's man-to-man. And it's going to be man-to-man. And it doesn't matter if we win 5-0 or we lose 7-0. And it's going to be 1-1. That's an identity, like it or not. And when it's so strong, the identity, I would say that 99% of the time, I'm going to leave at 1%. The coaches don't change. There is not going to be plan B, like Stephen was trying to find. No. It's no chance. When it's not that extreme, I think you always got the option to change. And that depends on the characteristics of the coaches.
How long do you think it takes a team to get the identity? A coach, say, we talked about Guardiola, Conte, yourself, that identity. How long does it take you as a coach? Because they've talked about, I need 6 months. I need 2 transfer windows.
Me, at Brighton, my experience was... my first year, I started in November. We finished in June. We started the second season in August. And I think that after 11 games of the second season, I was sitting in a game in Plymouth. I think it was a Tuesday night. And we started doing certain things. I looked at my assistant, Tarico, and I said, that's it, we click. Nearly a year, a little bit less, but yes, definitely 2 transfer windows. You said it, with it's January. Even if in January we didn't do a lot, in the summer, we did plenty of work. At top level, you need the same 2 or 3 transfer windows and money. If you don't have money, it's going to be very difficult. Because the teams that they go, the identity, they can bring specific players for that way of playing. Let's go a different kind of Atletico Madrid. The best Atletico Madrid or Cholo Simeone. You needed players that physically they were stronger than the rest, and they were able to train with the Profe, Uruguayan, which is a genius, the Profe Ortega, to train at that intensity of both ways, attacking and defending, and being compact and being in a way that, you never know against Atletico Madrid when the game will finish because they were spectacular. That kind of situation, you need the time to bring those players. Now, most of the teams, they don't have that. Most of the team, you say, okay, I want these characteristics, and the player that finally arrive is not that close to that one. It's a little bit different. That's a problem as well, because then you need to train the player, or the player needs to adapt, or there is so many things that they can go well or not, and depending on if you win, you stay, or you go. I would say 2 transfer windows. That's what I left Chile as well. My idea was to change, to do what I want to do. I need 2 transfer windows. And when I arrived with the first one and we couldn't really do any deals, I said, well, I'm going to need 3 years in here. It wasn't the right place for me. It's interesting. I think it would be great if a club can bring a coach where you were already playing a certain way similar to you and not changing dramatically the coach. That would be the best.
When you talk about identity, do you bring the identity that you had as a player? Do you have the same intensity? That identity that you had as a player? So everyone
no,
knew that when you went on
no,
the pitch, bang,
no,
this
no,
is this
no,
guy.
no.
We know him. And the
No,
and the
yeah,
clips were-
they know you personally, but they don't know the team identity. When I started coaching, my idea was 4-4-2, very simple. I had the movements in my head. The 4-4-2 I played for many years, and I had it very clear. And then I went to Brighton. I started playing that system, and it was okay. But then against the top teams, it was very difficult. And I changed once away at Leeds, and the team performed in an incredible way. And then I left it. And then I left, and then we finished the season flying. And I think, okay, this is my new system. And then a little bit of, making certain things for reasons. I need to go into details, but there were situations where we were in positions that we needed a little bit more presence in the box. So if your wingers don't get in the box, then you need the two midfielders to get in the box. But if the wingers get in the box, then you need a different kind of characteristics. But the idea changed it completely. It's interesting that, because I want you to do certain things, but in Brighton it were to a higher level. I mean, the players, they embrace the way of playing, and until today we cannot stop talking about that. And I had a big interview the other day about that, and the fans, they still remember 2 games away from home, which is interesting. Normally you will remember the finals or the games that you play at home because it was more people, but they remember one game at Peterborough and one game at Charlton at the Valley, like probably 2 of the best games of the Brighton history. And that tell you the way that we were playing.
So, Gus, how many teams in England you could say they have a clear identity?
There is only a few teams that they can play always the same way. And that's when you have 100% an identity. Manchester City, Liverpool. In England, I would say, careful, not many more. Eh?
Chelsea?
No, Chelsea, no. Chelsea against Leeds was an identity. Wow. It was scary the other day, because you can lose with your identity. You can draw. Man City drew 3-3, but they played the game all the time. They had the ball. They tried. They had like 20 shots. They went everywhere. They try everything. You can lose because in the day, the position is score and you don't. But the idea was there. The idea of Liverpool in the 2 draws, it was there. They're missing something, Liverpool still. But the other teams, still not clear. That's why when you change a few players, you cannot see the same way, the same confidence on the player to play in a certain way.
That's interesting you say that, because then when you said it was either Klopp or Pep in Man City, Liverpool, and I'm thinking he's not talking about Conte. Why is he not talking about Conte? But then the explanation is then you take 1 out, you take 2 out, and you can see then the ones that are going in can't do it. They don't work. So actually, when you explain that actually makes 100% to me thinking, what's he talking about? I mean, he's not talking about Spurs.
No, but I'll make an example. You probably watched the 3 games of Spurs, no? I mean, the game against Southampton is outstanding. Even Southampton scoring first, you were feeling, no worries. Spurs is there, he's playing the game, they're getting up, they're having chances, they're going to score goals. And they scored 4 and they were able to score 7 or 8. The week after, you watch against Chelsea the first half and you go, where are they? What happened? What is the identity? And a week later, they play at home against Wolves. In the first half, you say, where are they? Which is the identity? Because they still know at the level that they can be Guardiola and Klopp, because they've been there for 5, 6, 7 years. Give Conte 5 years, or 4 or 3, I would say, and then we will see something every week. Winning or losing, don't worry. But you will see something constant, something clear, how you want to play, why you want to play that way, how you can press. It doesn't matter how high, depending on the quality of the players and what the manager believes is the best to win football game. But it's going to be everywhere. No, 1 week, second half, 10 minutes, because the other teams, they are constant. And the consistency make you win leagues, not like a little bit up and downs.
No, that just makes a lot of sense. And actually, yeah, that's like a little ping in my mind now that you said that. And it's just when you support Spurs for as long as I have, you just assume it's a Spurs issue, not a player. Right? It's just inherited that we're going to be good 1 week, shit the next, fantastic for 10 minutes, look the best, play the best football ever seen, and then absolutely get battered.
Because look, no, but that's very important what you just said, Stephen. Very, very important. Because every week in England is a different game. Every week. Meaning, if you have a strong identity, a strong idea of playing, it doesn't matter who you play against. When you have the ball or when the opposition has the ball, you're going to be pressing in a certain way and you're going to be passing in a certain way. When the identity is not there yet, fully, 100%, then you're going to have the opposition play a part. Look at the difference of Chelsea from the game against Spurs. Even if it was a draw, it was a great performance against Leeds. It's a different team. It's a different players. Even if they played 10 players, they were the same except one. What happened? Because the opposition plays. No, the position play, and you don't have that strong identity of doing every week the same. That's the difference at the moment, the top two and the rest. Now, people learn, and that's why they need to be careful, Man City and Liverpool. The year goes past and you play away, and the position watch, learn. Somebody beat you one day and you check. Somebody make a draw and you check, and you learn which is the best way to play, or where are the weaknesses, or how. For example, Newcastle the other day, the first 20 minutes, they press very high. They surprise Man City. Normally the teams, they drop. Now, that doesn't mean that the next team needs to press high. Maybe after 10 minutes, you are 3-0 down. So you need to know your characteristics in the moment you have, where you're playing. Newcastle was playing at home, the atmosphere, the players, the power. But then there is a moment that if you don't go back, you're dead. So you need to know how to press high for 20 minutes, and then how you're going to defend the next 25 at the back. There is two games there. There is two different setups. There is different mentalities, concentration, reaction, so many things, because you try something to win a game and it nearly worked, but then sooner or later you're going to have to go back.
Thank you for tuning in our discussion on team identity and how to win matches at the 12 Man Academy. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the series, leave a winning review or a 5-star rating on the platform you're listening on. And do not forget to check our website at www.12asintheword-man-academy.com and let us know what would you like to know. If you would like to sponsor this podcast, please email us to sponsors@the12manacademy.com. See you next time at the 12 Man Academy.